Addams, designer, author, and trainer. And I'm here to help you create calm, colorful, and inspiring spaces that are simply you by design. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about a concept that I have been using for years and years. And finally, I put it into a system, because that's kind of what I do. I take things, and to get myself organized, I give myself a process, and by doing that process I've realized that this could help other people. So I'm going to share some of those insights with you. I call it DESIGN DOMINOES, the interior process game, because that's what it is. When you think of a renovation or a new build, we all get excited at the beginning because it's, wow, we're going to have a new space, we're going to have this much better lifestyle, all these things that are really exciting when we start the renovation process or new build. Today I'm going to concentrate on renovation because they're two totally different ways of looking at things. When you're dealing with a renovation, what you're looking at is your existing space. How do I create refresh my space? How do I make it more functional? How do I make it more our family? Now this could be something that you've just purchased and you're going to renovate, or this might be something that you've lived in for a long time and are considering to renovate. So I usually ask 8 different questions, and if you would like to, I'm not going to talk about that now. If you would like to see that, just look below and you'll get a link that takes you to the 8 deciding factors on whether you should renovate or sell and build new or renovate another place. And there's a lot of different factors that enter in that, but we're not going to talk about that today. What we're going to be talking about is, let's make it a game. Let's not get stressed out about the whole thing. Let's talk about, how do I make a space that's going to be uniquely your family? And how I do that is I start every project, and I'm a 30-year interior design veteran. I've been in and around the industry for over 30 years. I've sold real estate. I started in the window covering industry, and I've done multiple renovations myself, so I understand the pain. I've lived through them. And I've been an interior merchandiser for 10 years. What that means is I was the one responsible for designing and setting up and doing all show homes in Calgary for 10 years. And I actually worked with about between 9 and 10 builders at one point. Got a little bit hairy, but brilliant builders, awesome opportunity, had a great support team that all pulled it together. So in that process, it's having a way to, how do you communicate what you're trying to accomplish? And this means with my clients or with my associates when we were trying to create a show home or, you know, one of those things. But again, I digress. Let's get back to DESIGN DOMINOES. So what I do is I start every process with art. Actually, no, I'm going to switch this up because I think that this might be a little bit more effective. When I was doing show homes, I started with a blank palette. I got the floor plans, and the floor plans were from the builder, and what I would do typically is go and talk to the salesperson and get a little bit more feedback on about the type of clientele that was coming in to that particular area, because they were the front runners. They were the ones that were getting and fielding all the calls, all the different concerns, etc. So I figured, let me find out. I wanted to talk to management, of course, the builder and the developer, those people, because they had their higher vision of what they were trying to create. But the reality was the salesperson was the one that was fielding the calls and getting the people coming in, getting the objections and having to overcome the objections, and really trying to fine-tune what was going to be effective for them. So when I talked to them, either it was price point, or it was color, or it was layout, or it was all the added features that they were worried about, etc. So a lot of times it came to budget. Budget was always the thing. I mean, most people that are purchasing a house, come on, it's the biggest expense that we have in our life, and it's something we shouldn't take lightly. And so when we are about to embark on being a homeowner, apartment owner, condo, it doesn't matter, just we'll call home as the bigger scheme of things. We have to understand what our needs are, like what we really, really need. What's our desires are sort of the third. So we have this need cycle, and then we have got our wants, and then we have got our desires. That's sort of how it filters down. Then we have to obviously make sure that it affects, you know, our pocketbook and we can afford to pay it. So when I would talk to the salespeople, they would typically say the people that are coming in, we'll talk about one specific area, which were the starter homes. Those are the people that were coming from apartments. They had worked really hard to save money, to put down a deposit, to buy a place that they could call their own. I took that to heart because I've been there. I totally understand that. That is something that, you know, it's a place where we can call our own. So typically, as a first-time buyer, they were coming from what I call builder beige. Sorry, builders, but it's the truth. I mean, we try and create an environment that is so almost sterile, something that will appeal to the masses, okay? And I really personally don't think that that's the right way to go. I think that what people are looking for in that group, and of course with every group there's something different that they're looking for, so I'm only talking about the first-time buyers. What I discovered, what I proved with major results, was that what people wanted was a price point that they could afford, but had life, had color, because they were tapioca beige starved. All they could do, they couldn't paint walls. So you couldn't, you had no personalization of anything. So what I chose to do was add color. Stop being in a black and white world. Add color. So how I did that is because I had a blank palette with the show homes. I started every show home with art. Now the art, when I say art, art is something that is very color aware, style aware, and it sets a certain theme for the space. It's very important that it hits those elements. That could be a piece of art, like an actual picture. It could be fabric. It could be an area rug. It could be couches that have got a pattern or a specific feel to it. It doesn't matter, but it starts with art. And that leads the theme. It makes everything so much easier. And I will explain that a little bit further after this. Stay with me.